Jacqueline Penner Art. Today I'm going to show you 3 ways to transfer a sketch. That could be a sketch that you drew, or in this case it's my sketch. And I'm going to show you 3 ways to transfer this sketch to the surface that you are going to paint on. So that surface could be paper, a canvas, a piece of wood, or anything that you can think of that you'd like to paint with acrylic paint. So the first one here is just a regular sketchbook. This one is a painting I did the other day, and I'm just going to show you how I would transfer this into my sketchbook to paint. And this is just a regular piece of paper that I photocopied and printed out. And one of the easiest ways that you probably don't need any extra supplies for is just by using some graphite. So this is called the graphite method. This is a 6B artist pencil, and I like to use it because it has soft lead for this, but you could use a regular old tube HB number 2 pencil for this too. It will work. So what I need to do is I need to cover the back of my paper with graphite everywhere I have lines that I need to trace. And it's pretty quick. You just put some graphite on here. I hold my pencil on the side, go over it a couple times, make sure it's on there. So this would be one of the easiest methods for transferring, and it doesn't even require tracing paper, so super easy. Then I just place this on my paper wherever I want it to be. I like to use a little bit of masking tape so that I don't have my image moving around while I'm drawing or tracing it. And then I'm just going to trace over top with a pencil or a pen or whatever you like to use. And if you have that taped down, you can even take a peek and see how that is tracing right onto my image. And this is in graphite, so this is erasable, which is very handy. I do this a lot when I've done a sketch and put it on something like, on paper, and then I want to apply it to a canvas to paint it. This is a method I use to do that a lot, because why would I want to draw that twice? Besides, when I'm doing a sketch, I don't, it's in a working state, so I don't really want to sketch something right onto a canvas for painting usually. So I'm sketching on paper, and then I use a method like this to transfer it. And then I know my sketch is already just how I want it before it gets onto the canvas. There, so we just quickly trace this on. And you don't have to follow the lines exactly. It's just a really good way to get that onto your paper. Okay, so that's the graphite method. The second method I want to show you is a carbon paper method. So carbon paper is something that people used to use in offices a long time ago. And this is a piece of carbon paper. It's black on one side. That's the side you put down. This piece has been used a few times. You can get it at Staples or an office supply, and they can be reused. It's not exactly erasable, though, is one thing I would say about this. You can certainly paint over it, the lines that you put down. But if you want it to be erasable, you probably want to use graphite for that. So this is an example of how I could put some of these dahlias onto this piece of wood, I'm going to maybe apply this a little bit off to the side. And I'm going to tape my paper down where I want it to be, so that isn't going to move while I'm doing my drawing. And then just slip your carving paper underneath. And give that a quick trace. And this is wood that is very rough in nature. It's not been sanded very much on purpose. And it will even transfer onto this wood even though it's not totally smooth. Just give you a quick peek of that. Yeah, so it makes quite a nice black transfer, and it's just so handy. I do this on canvas or lots of different surfaces all the time. So that's the carbon paper method. And if you're going to be using poster board to practice on, this works very good on that too, or paper of any kind. Okay. And method number 3 is so cool. I will just show you. They make something called a Lightbox, which one of these days I probably will buy one. Right now I don't have one. And I thought to myself one day, there's got to be a way to actually make one at home. And there are lots of different ways if you Google it. But one of the easiest ones I have found, I actually use this method quite often as well. And this is what you need. You need your sketch, you need your paper that you're going to transfer this image onto, and you need a Pyrex pie plate, or sorry, a cake pan. And then you need a light source. So I'm going to use the flashlight on my iPhone. This is probably going to be bright here. I'm going to put my paper on here first so I don't shine in your eyes, because I'm going to put my iPhone right underneath this cake pan. You can see it's shining there. And I have a piece of poster paper here, which is very thick. You would think light is not going to shine through here, but it actually does enough that I can see my image through. And so how I do this is I just tape my papers together in this case. And I just move that around a bit until I can see how I want it. There we go. I have it positioned on my paper. I tape down the side, papers together. And I have my image on the bottom, my paper on the top that I'm transferring to. So this time I'm drawing on to my paper that I'm going to paint. And I'm just making light pencil lines so I don't have lines that are hard to get rid of later or erase or paint over. And that's how you do that. I'm going to shut this light off here. Yeah, so who'd have thought you could use a pie, why do I keep saying pie? It's a cake pan. But just a regular Pyrex pan. A nice big one works good if you have a bigger paper. But you know, this, you tape this to your paper so you can move your image around and turn it as you're tracing. Another way of doing exactly this same method is putting this on your window. So that's another quick way you can do it if it's light enough outside. But this is even more comfortable because when you're drawing onto the window, you're standing upright and it's not as comfortable as doing it this way. So I really like to do this. Yeah, so I hope you have a chance to join my 5-day painting challenge that's coming up. And these are the images that we're going to be using in that painting challenge. They will be downloadable as a PDF document, so you can trace these and transfer them right onto the surface that you're going to be painting on. And you know, you can practice on your paper, or you can then reuse these images when you decide you maybe want to put it onto some wood or some canvas. So I hope you enjoyed that. It's 3 great ways to transfer your sketches, and we'll see you soon in the next video. Bye-bye.